What's going on, beautiful people? Daniel Mediar, back in the building. Today we're going to go through an email from our follower, and she got injured while skiing, which is no surprise to me because I heard so many stories of people getting hurt who are doing skiing that I can't even count it anymore. And after the injury, she pretty much gained weight. And we're going to analyze pretty much what's going on and where's her mindset at and try to help her as much as possible, because that has a negative effect on other aspects of her life too, which is always what I'm trying to tell you, is that a weight gain is not really just about the physical body, but people don't feel comfortable in their own skin. And that has negative psychological effect on the other stuff in their life. So the email starts, Daniel, I used to be fit, not sort of active, or trying to get back in shape, but genuinely fit. I worked out regularly, I trusted my body, and I felt at home in it. Movement wasn't something I negotiated with myself about. It was just part of my life. I didn't have the psych myself up to go to the gym or bargain with myself to take a walk. Psych myself. Never heard of that. But English is my second language, so I hope it made sense to you. My body felt like an ally instead of an obstacle. And I didn't realize how much that sense of trust mattered until it was gone. Then I got injured. I've torn ACL on my left knee while skiing. At the time, it didn't seem like something that would derail my life. It was frustrating and painful, yes, but I fully believe it was temporary. So one thing that I really like to use for all of my clients who are injured and have damaged joints, or they're just basically in any skeletal pain, is BPC 157 and TB 500. These two in a combination help you heal your joints quicker, helps you eliminate the inflammation and speed up the healing process. You let it work for about 3 months, 4 months, and a lot of people feel amazing progress. So this is pretty much your best home treatment that you can do. Of course, for a torn ACL, you need surgery. But after the surgery, to speed up the recovery, when you get your mobility back, you can start using some BPC 157 or TB 500. If you're still in pain, not sure, you can just shoot me a DM and I'll tell you a little more about it. But pretty much that's what I've seen work the best as far as the home treatment is considered. I assumed I recovered, ease my way back into my routine, and pick up where I left off. That's what people do, right? They get hurt, they heal, they move on. But it's not what happened. The injury lingered longer than expected. Recovery took more out of me than I anticipated physically, but also mentally. Every attempt to get back at it came with pain, setbacks, or fear of making things worse. I started associating workouts with frustration and disappointment instead of relief of accomplishment. Well, that's bad because that's pretty much the state of your mind. Like, workout is associated to the negative feelings, hence you don't want to do it. You got to look for the workout, or you got to look at the workout as something that is going to make you better, something where you actually release the stress and you feel better afterwards. When I feel stressed out or I feel a lot of internal pressure, workout is pretty much the only thing that helps. And cold shower at the same time. Like, workout and after that cold shower, or cold shower first and after that workout. That helps me to get my mind back on track. Slowly, without any dramatic moment where I decided to stop caring. I stopped working out. I stopped moving the way I used to. I stopped believing that my body could do what it once did. And once that routine was gone, a lot of other things slipped too. Over the course of 2 years, I gained 44 pounds. Writing that number still makes my stomach tighten. 44 pounds doesn't happen overnight. And that's part of what makes it so painful. It crept up gradually, quietly, until one day I couldn't avoid it anymore. Well, it stopped moving, that's the biggest thing. And then you were probably eating away your emotions as well. You didn't feel good, you felt miserable, you were in pain, you were looking for temporary satisfaction in food, so you get a little bit of that dopamine trigger that I keep talking about. People always look for comfort when they feel uncomfortable. And one of the biggest comforts and one of the biggest dopamine spikes that you can get is actually from the food. And then some people make other decisions. They go to drugs and all that stuff, which, you can't really compare the dopamine hit from the drugs with food. However, Everybody chooses their own evil. Clothes stopped fitting, mirrors felt hostile. Photos became something I dreaded instead of enjoyed. I didn't recognize myself, not just physically, but emotionally. What I find the hardest to explain is that the weight gain isn't just about the appearance, even though that's the most visible part. It's about how I disconnected from my own body. I don't trust it anymore. I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't feel like myself in it. There's a constant low-level frustration simmering under everything I do because I know how different things used to be and I don't know how to get back there. Yeah, so you already were fit. So it's so much easier to fit than someone who's never been fit, right? You had your routine before. Now, let's assume that as of right now, you're completely capable of moving and starting the activities that you used to do. You just get back on that routine and you adjust the diet. Of course, you're gonna get in a calorie deficiency. You're gonna start calorie cycling, and then you're gonna get back in shape. But in terms of working out and movement, you used to do it. So for you, it's gonna be so much easier to get back in shape than for a person who's never been in shape. You already did your routine. At some point of your life, you were disciplined. You were working out, you were doing your walking, whatever sports it might be, you were active, like you said before. You never really negotiated with yourself. So just bring that tiger back. Just let's get the discipline back up, okay? Remember the routine and just start practicing it without feeling about it. So in the beginning, you might not feel like doing it because it's uncomfortable. Your shape will be worse than it used to be. Your cardio will be worse than it used to be, but get through it. Stop feeling about it, just do it. I feel less attractive. I hate admitting that because it sounds shallow, but it's true. Well, I believe you that. I mean, every woman wants to feel attractive. I don't feel confident in the way I move through the world anymore. I'm more aware of my body in every room, every outfit, and every social situation, even at work. I second guess what I wear. I avoid certain angles, certain lighting, certain activities. I shrink myself in ways that have nothing to do with actual size. And that feeling has spilled into my dating life, or rather the absence of one. I did it. I mean, that made sense. If you don't feel attractive and you're constantly self-aware and you want to make sure you always look good and you only want to take pictures in a certain angles because your hips or stomach or whatever part of the body might be, your triceps looks weird from this angle, that's going to make you very hard to physically and emotionally open up to a new man. Dating feels impossible right now, not because there aren't people out there, but because I don't feel ready to be seen. The idea of putting myself on a dating app or meeting someone new, of being evaluated visually, instantly, fills me with anxiety. Yeah, so the truth is that a man is visual. So man, first of all, he judges by their appearance. And visually, he decides whether or not he likes the girl. It's different for women. Women are emotional, men are visual. So I get the anxiety part, but you're going to have much easier times to get back on track because you already used to do it. We just need a little bit pep talk for you, and you'll be right back at it. At least that's my experience with people like that, who used to be active and they slipped up, or in your case got injured and gained weight. I compare myself to how I used to be, and I assumed that version of me was more worthy of attention, desire, affection. I know intellectually that attraction is more complex than that. I know people are drawn to confidence, warmth, humor, connection. Yeah, but men are visual first. Vision first, and then the confidence, warmth, humor, connection. But knowing something logically doesn't automatically undo how deeply it feels in my body. So I don't date. I tell myself I'll try again once I get back in shape, once I lose the weight, once I feel better about myself. But the longer this goes on, the more the promise starts to feel like a moving target. It's as if I've put my life on hold until I can return to a version of myself that may not even exist anymore. And that scares me almost as much as the idea of staying exactly where I am. What hurts most is the shame I carry around this. From the outside, I probably look fine, functional, normal. People might even tell me I look good, and sometimes they do. But inside, there's this constant sense that I failed myself. So here, I'm going to recommend to you, be a little heartless. Like, stop feeling so much. I know it's going to be super hard for you as a woman. because you have emotion. It's pretty much the basic setting how women perceive this world is through the emotion. Men are logic and rationality. But be a little more heartless. It is what it is. I mean, 44 pounds is not the end of the day, right? I mean, I've dealt with women who needed to lose 150 pounds, 120 pounds, and 44 is, I would say, like a normal weight loss that women need to lose. So you're not as bad as you think. Plus, you used to be fit, which means that it's going to be so much easier for your body to tighten up and start looking fit and sexy again because you already been that. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're punishing yourself way too much. Did I let something slip and couldn't get it back under control? That I should have tried harder, pushed through, figured it out. I replay all of the if only moments. If only I would address the injury differently. If only I would stay consistent. If only I hadn't let the fear or fatigue stop me. At the same time, I'm exhausted from being angry at myself. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're putting so much pressure on yourself. You know, you're feeling way too much about it. Stop feeling about the 44 pounds. Just take it as the fact. It is what it is. You know, I hurt myself, tore my ACL. That's the reality. Can't change it. I can take some peptides. And if I have questions, I'll reach out to Daniel and I'll talk to him about it. But I'm going to get on a diet. I'll start calorie cycling, get my cardio back up to about 15K steps. I'll start working out and just don't feel so much about it. There's a part of me that knows this wasn't laziness or lack of discipline. I was hurt. I was overwhelmed. I was trying to cope with the body that didn't behave the way it used to. But compassion is harder to access than criticism, especially when I look in the mirror and don't like what I see. Self-blame feels easier, even though it doesn't actually help. Well, that is pretty much drawn in you, you know, the self-pain and negative self-taught, and you're slowly drawn in because it's not, you know, treating the issue. Treating the issue is going to be the only way how you're going to actually start feeling better, and that's losing weight. Right? What's going to actually make you happy is to step on the scale and be 2 pounds down, 3 pounds down. That's going to elevate your spirit. You're going to feel so much better about yourself because you're finally putting things into action. And the negative thought never works under any circumstance. It doesn't matter. Whatever situation you come up with in your life, negative thought just doesn't work. It's a failed technology. So don't even go there. Don't punish yourself. And 44 pounds you can get done, you know, 4 or 5 months easily. And I'm giving you some time for the errors as well. 4 or 5 months is very reasonable, especially if you take products like Retta and things like that that really enhance the weight loss process because you don't feel cravings, you're not as hungry. I miss feeling desirable without having to think about it. I miss trusting that someone could find me attractive without me needing to apologize for my body first. I miss the version of myself who didn't hesitate to say yes to dates, to intimacy, to being seen. Right now, it feels like my body is a barrier between me and the rest of my life. And I don't know how to lower it. I want to be clear about something though. This isn't just about wanting to lose weight so I can date. It's about wanting to feel at home in myself again. Dating is just one of the places where the discomfort shows up most sharply. Well, you were probably used to a lot of attention back in the day where you were really fit and in shape, so that's why it hits you hard, because you're probably one of those women who, when she walks around at the bar, every single man is going to break their neck. When they smell your perfume, they're running right after you. So if that's gone, you're going to naturally miss it. And yeah, it's gonna hurt sharply, like you said. It's the area where vulnerability and self-image collide. And right now, that collision feels like too intense to manage. I don't know what the solution is yet. Well, I do. You're going to be fasting Monday through Friday, eating 1 meal a day, and a calorie deficiency. Saturday, Sunday, you're going to increase the calories to your active metabolic rate, just like I described it in my book, Weight Loss Without Plateau. Then you're going to start doing your cardio, 15,000 steps a day, and you'll start working out. Simple. So simple. And you're going to start making progress. Okay? Stop feeling so much about it. You're beating yourself too much. Too much, my friend. No need to self-punish. I don't have a neat ending or a sudden breakthrough to offer. I'm still frustrated. I'm still insecure. And trying to figure out how to rebuild a relationship with my body that doesn't rely entirely on punishment or unrealistic expectations. You just have to feel better, okay? I know a thing or two about you because I've been married to a woman for the past 7 years. We got to change how you feel. And the way we change how you feel is by you making progress. You're going to feel so much better and so much happier when you step on the scale and you're going to see 2 pounds less. That's going to make you feel better. So that is really the solution. Progress towards the body that you used to have. And the closer you're going to be, the more at harmony and more at the homeostasis, emotional homeostasis you're going to be with your own body. Your spirit's going to match the body, okay? Some days I feel motivated. Other days I just feel tired and sad and stuck. But writing this is my way of acknowledging that something real is going on and that it deserves attention rather than avoidance. I don't want to disappear from my own life while I wait to become acceptable again. I don't want fear and shame to keep making decisions for me. I want to believe that I'm still worthy of connection, affection, and desire, even now, even like this. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying to be honest about where I am, and for now, that has to count for something. Thank you for reading this, even if all of you did was read this quietly. Well, I'm going to take it to YouTube, my friend. You know that. You send me an email, and I'm going to go through it and give you the analysis. Sometimes being seen in this way feels like the first step back toward myself. Yeah, so it's not as bad. Girl, it's not as bad. You're good. You got 44 pounds to lose. You know, I get the emotional impact it has because you probably used to be hot, as like the hottest, chick in the bar. And now you're not the same, so this is creating the emotional impact that you have. But don't worry about it. It's okay. 44 pounds, we can take care of it in 4 or 5 months. And then you get right back to it. Now, when a lot of emotions are involved, life tends to be more complicated. And that's why I love Machiavelli's literature that teaches you how to just cancel out the unnecessary emotions. A lot of the emotions that you're feeling in your situation are unnecessary, like punishing yourself, the negative self-talk, and that's just drawn in you and you're feeling worse about, you're just feeling worse about yourself. That's unnecessary. And that's going to create even worse and worse and worse emotional state. So Machiavelli literally talks about it, just shut down the emotions and just do it. You go for a walk, listen to some podcast, ignore the fact that you're walking, or you're walking on treadmill, work out, don't have the self-talk, oh, I should go work out, I don't feel like. As soon as you let the brain negotiate with you, it's going to find the reasons why you shouldn't do it. The brain will always find a reason why you shouldn't work out if you allow it to. So you got to learn things or how to do things on command. You tell your brain, we're working out, shut up. That's it. You're moving. There you go. Bicep curls. Then you do chest press. Then you do squats. Whatever the workout routine it is. I train upper body one day, lower body the next day, 20, 30 minutes a day. You didn't mention any problems with the time. It's just a pure motivation issue. So you definitely have time to work out. Like I said, 5 low days, 2 high days for the diet, 15K steps. That's my routine. And upper body one day, lower body the next day. If you need my help, you can find my services on dmprotrainer.com. Also, if you need tremendous beef that is American raised, grass-fed, grass-finished, you can order it on dmbeef.com. We ship nationwide. And that's going to be it for today's email, my beautiful people. See you later.